painted one zombie, and this zombie was more or less a test piece on a particular paint scheme I wanted to try out. And that paint scheme was based on Edward Munch's The Scream. Now today I think it is time to paint all the other zombies. So we have our complete unit of 12 zombies. So let's get to it. I'm already noticing that I'm losing interest in, well, painting these miniatures. And that's not because of the miniatures, that is because of my paint scheme. This paint scheme was like an experiment, an idea I had in my head for a while now, something I wanted to do and wanted to figure out if this works or not. And in my mind, it kind of works, and I like the finished outcome. My problem is now simply applying all that to all the other miniatures. This is where it becomes uninteresting for me. And this is something I realized about me and my, well, relationship with miniature painting. What I like about miniature painting is finding the paint scheme, proving to myself the idea I had in my head actually looks quite nice, or, well, moderately nice, depending on your idea of a nice paint job. For me, it becomes harder and harder and harder when I have to apply this paint job to more and more models, if I have to repeat the steps over and over and over again. And that is an interesting discussion I had with someone I met at the last tournament, and we talked about painting huge armies. And he was a person who kind of blew my mind with his take on miniature painting. And he simply said he likes not to think about it. He likes simply doing the process and watching a series and listening to a podcast or an audiobook and basically having the mind be engaged with something else, but still being physically engaged with painting. And he told me about how he painted a lot of Napoleonic, which is kind of fitting for turnip, miniatures. And I was like, I could never imagine me doing that. And this is definitely not a critique or something that I want to judge. It's more like, I find that interesting. And I find that also shows how different people in the hobby sphere are, although we all like roughly the same things. And that was interesting. I think my response to that is simply that I will struggle forever with that idea of having like a complete huge Warhammer army or even more miniatures, because I have to paint all that. And I have to paint all that in basically the same style. And you could also say that I'm trying to find an off-ramp for painting all the miniatures in the same style, because I also have other ideas for these zombies. So I think my plan will now be that I will finish all the miniatures I have right in front of me. That would make it like 6 finished zombies in this style. And the other miniatures I think I will put on, well, let's just say the back burner, and I think I will get them out at a later stage. So first of all, let's just finish these up, and then I will show you how that all went. I think the key to, well, more abstract paint styles is that you basically make decisions that are not really obvious. I think these decisions are more informed by the atmosphere and the surroundings. I, for example, try to use a little bit of red and make like little red scratches in the shadows, and then puts the miniature in some sort of twilight, early morning, early evening scene. And I think this is kind of working. Right, and here we have our zombies. Again, if you are interested in obtaining these zombies, please follow the link down below. There you can back the Kickstarter campaign from Jonas of Bequest Miniatures. And as I said in my last video, I think you are in for a treat with these nice hand-sculpted metal cast miniatures. I think I will keep it at that with painting these. I have to prepare a little bit for an event this weekend, and I also am very anxious on getting back to my board build. So look forward to that, and until then I hope I see you in the next one.